What's up guys, welcome back to another video coming to you from a bright and sunny day. Hallelujah, yes please. We have some big plans for our tiny floating home, but before we get to any major reno or any major overhaul or some long-term cruising, we really are just in a period of recovery from the year that has been and just adapting to our new life. So on these in-between videos, what we're trying to do is really give you an insight as to what it's like living in a tiny space, specifically a tiny floating space, and what that really looks like from the inside. So we hope you appreciate this open door vibe that we are hopefully creating and that you are hopefully enjoying. Before we get into the details on today's one though, spider control. We're Mel and Paul, and this is our home. We're slowly fixing her up and doing our best to have a good time doing it. This is our version of boat life. Subscribe and welcome aboard. We learned really early on that us and the spiders were going to have to make friends. You just don't get a summer on a boat without spiders being involved. So while they are generally small, I will show you a big one out the front in a second though, they are just a little bit unnerving. Say, watching the telly at night, one coming down from the ceiling. It's not ideal. I've had them hanging from my hair, you walk through the webs, so ideally we'd just like to keep them at bay. I am very good at capturing them in glasses and releasing them, but they definitely always come back. So the solution, get yourself one of these guys, the classic old spray bottle, handy for anything really, and peppermint oil. You literally pop about 10 to 20 drops in a little bit of water. I think there's like an actual measurement for it. You can Google it, but I don't think it really matters. And this is supposed to properly deter them. We tried this out last summer when we first bought the boat and it definitely did the trick. I'm not sure why we forgot about it for so long this year, but I'll show you why now. I've decided to get it all out and do it today. So on camera, I'm not too sure that you can see the webs coming up, but there is essentially a huge one in this area. And if I try get the camera in there, there we go. The little family having a grand old time. So there's always lots of small ones hanging around, always hanging around the windows. Those two larger guys have had a nice cushy home under the crutch cover, and unfortunately it is time for them to find somewhere else to call home. I'm just gonna take some paper towel and dust away the webs, get that all away, and then maybe catch the spiders and then spray. I don't think I'm going to spray directly on them. That would be quite mean. I also just don't even know why I care so much about spiders right now. I just can't kill them anymore. It's very strange. we'll see how that goes. I think somewhat successful. I didn't manage to catch the spiders. The two big ones just scurried away and hid somewhere else. So I sprayed where they were. Hopefully they won't come back. The problem with this front area here is that it's our view. So when you're sitting on the couch and you can see a gigantic spider web, kind of looks like you're living in a horror show. You'll also see behind me these lovely plants, which I actually moved here a few weeks ago when I was cleaning, and they've kind of stayed because it's been so handy just to have them out the way. I'm thinking I'd even be happy to perhaps scale down on some of them. Like this guy, I'm just not a green-fingered person, so I can't revive this plant. It used to be so big and then it kind of was dying, and so I trimmed a lot of the leaves back. I've actually trimmed the leaves to get a lot of the brown off, so yes, you can tell, not a very plant orientated person. This guy's also quite temperamental. I don't really know what to do with him. Maybe he's also struggling here in the front. I don't know. Comment below if you have any advice. This guy needs some water actually. Looks like his leaves are a little bit droopy. You can tell I'm not a plant person because this is my watering can, a measuring cup. Where I'm standing now is at the edge of the Dinette, leading into this sort of non-space area. I imagine that initially the previous or first owner of the boat would have had some sort of a leather swivel chair that was of the time in about 2008. Those are quite popular on boats, just to have a freestanding chair, maybe one or two, and that's probably what they used this space for. We currently have it as just a general open space. I'm not mad at it. I do some stretching and some yoga. It's good to have the space when you want to do something, when we've had to cut big pieces of material. Paul even chops wood in this area. It's kind of just like an everything space. Currently housing this random box of clothes, an old keyboard, and some projects. This is actually our old keyboard that we had lying just here, and we left it there when we didn't realize that this window was leaking, and unfortunately it got water in it and it is bust. Generally Paul and I are using our laptops and that is good enough for what we need to get done, but we still bought from our old home a desktop computer. You just never know when you start something new like this YouTube channel, where it's going to go, how it's going to go, what it's going to become. But we figured that we're pretty committed to it now and we're in for the long haul, so always good to have a backup. So we've decided to keep the desktop computer, but there is definitely no room for a monitor to be found. So here you go, inside a messy cupboard. There he is, handy dust cloth for the TV, but this is essentially where we are housing the tower. We do, however, need to pull some stuff out when we turn it on because obviously it needs to breathe, but yeah, a pretty good spot and little hiding solution. We then have purchased this handy little piece of equipment to replace the keyboard that got damaged with water, and have connected the tower to our television. A handy solution to maintain a good backup computer should anything go wrong. Would hate to not be able to bring you these videos. This can easily just sit on one's lap. Got a little keypad here and TV doubling as your screen. Now I'd say that's a pretty smart space-saving solution. Do you want to see one that's not? Welcome to the biggest, most wasted space on this boat. And time is up. I've just been editing this one and it looks like we have a two-parter. So tune in Monday for more nosy inside looks at how we store our mess. And if you miss Paul in this one, never fear, he'll be in the next. We shall see you then. If you enjoyed, give us a like and do subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Not really our vibe. I need to stop using the word vibe so often.